Have you ever walked into your kitchen and passed by something that could change your life without even realizing it? There's something sitting quietly on your shelf right now. Maybe it's tucked behind the sugar jar or resting beside the salt. You've used it for baking cookies, cleaning the sink, maybe even freshening the fridge. But what if I told you that this plain, inexpensive white powder holds one of the best-kept secrets for improving your health, especially after age 60? Hi, my name's Eleanor, and just like many of you, I once believed that getting older meant learning to live with discomfort, sore joints, heartburn, fatigue, and more pills than I could count. But then I discovered something that had been right in front of me all along. Today, I'm going to share that with you, a forgotten natural remedy that's been quietly helping people for generations. Baking soda. But don't go mixing up a glass just yet. There are powerful benefits, yes, but also important precautions you need to know. And I promise by the end of this video, you'll never look at that little orange box the same way again. Let's begin. 1. Gentle detox. Helping your body do what it was always meant to do. Margaret is 72. Every morning, she walks slowly down her kitchen steps, opens the curtains to greet the sun, and then sits quietly with her glass of warm water. But not just any water. She stirs in a small pinch of baking soda, something her mother used to do and her grandmother before that. Helps me feel less heavy, she says with a soft smile. You see, as we get older, our body doesn't quite move waste out like it used to. Digestion becomes sluggish, energy dips lower, and toxins seem to hang around longer than they should. It's not just a feeling, it's a real part of aging. Our systems slow down, and with them, the natural rhythm of cleansing and renewal. That's where a simple household ingredient comes in: baking soda. When mixed with water, baking soda becomes alkaline. It gently neutralizes excess acid in the body, which can be especially helpful for older adults dealing with that uncomfortable feeling of bloating, fatigue, and even restless nights. Many seniors, just like Margaret, have found that a daily glass of baking soda water brings back a sense of lightness. Not dramatic, not overnight, but enough to notice the difference. It's not a miracle. It's not magic. It's chemistry and a bit of tradition. And science is beginning to catch up. A study from the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology showed promising results. Baking soda may slow the progression of kidney disease in adults over 60, especially those dealing with metabolic acidosis, a common condition where too much acid builds up in the body. For many older adults, this tiny daily ritual is more than a habit. It's a quiet way of reclaiming control, of saying, I may be older, but I still care about how I feel, and I still deserve to feel good. 2. Easing the burn, a simple way to soothe heartburn. James is 68, and he loves spaghetti, especially his wife's spicy marinara. But lately, after dinner, he finds himself sitting upright in bed, pressing a hand to his chest, trying to shake off that familiar burn creeping up his throat. That's not just discomfort, it's acid reflux. And it's common as we age. The valve that separates the stomach from the esophagus weakens over time. That means after a hearty meal, especially one with rich or spicy food, stomach acid can sneak back up where it doesn't belong. The result? A hot, stinging sensation in your chest and throat, often right when you're trying to rest. James tried chewing gum, avoiding late dinners, even cutting back on tomatoes reluctantly. But nothing brought relief like an old remedy his mother once used. A teaspoon of baking soda in a glass of water. It works fast, often in minutes. Baking soda is a natural antacid. It neutralizes the acid in your stomach, calming the fire of heartburn and helping you breathe a little easier. Of course, it's not a cure. If heartburn happens regularly, it's important to see a doctor. It could be a sign of something more serious. But for James, and for many older adults, baking soda is a simple, affordable, and time-tested way to get through the night without that nagging discomfort. It means enjoying dinner again. It means lying down without dreading the burn. And sometimes, it just means sleeping soundly. 3. A gentle helping hand for your kidneys. Margaret never imagined she'd be thinking about her kidneys. She had lived a full life, raised children, worked hard, traveled, and enjoyed countless Sunday afternoons with her grandchildren. But during a routine checkup, her doctor mentioned something that stuck with her. Your kidney function isn't quite what it used to be. She didn't feel sick. She wasn't in pain. But that sentence sat in her mind like a quiet worry. It turns out, Margaret is far from alone. Millions of older adults face the same issue, a slow, silent decline in kidney function. And often, it comes with no warning signs until it's more serious. That's when she heard something unexpected. Baking soda, yes, the same white powder sitting in her kitchen cabinet, might help. Under her doctor's guidance, Margaret learned that baking soda, when used correctly and in safe amounts, can help reduce the acid load on the kidneys. Some research even suggests it may slow down further damage over time. It's not a cure, but it's a small, simple step, affordable, accessible, and for someone like Margaret, who just wants to stay healthy and independent a little longer, that means everything. She doesn't take chances, of course. She works closely with her doctor. But every time she mixes a little baking soda into water, she feels like she's doing her part. It's a quiet act of care for the body that's carried her through so much. 4. A smile that still lights up the room. John used to smile all the time. He had the kind of grin that made people feel at ease, warm, open, full of life. But lately, things changed. A look in the mirror revealed stains that wouldn't go away. Coffee. There. The passage of time. His gums had become more sensitive. And the breath? It wasn't as fresh as it used to be. He began to smile less. Then, he remembered something his mother once told him. There's power in simple things. And that's how he found his way back to baking soda. A small pinch on a soft toothbrush, just twice a week. No harsh chemicals, no fancy gadgets. Just gentle cleaning that lifts away years of stains and neutralizes bad breath by reducing the acid in his mouth. The results? Subtle but real. His teeth looked cleaner. His mouth felt fresher. His confidence quietly returned. And when he went for his regular dental checkup, his dentist noticed. Whatever you're doing, keep it up, they said with a grin. So now, John smiles again, not like a man trying to impress, but like someone at peace. Someone who knows that even in the later chapters of life, a simple change can bring back something deeply personal, a smile. 5. Easing joint pain and inflammation. For many older adults, joint pain isn't just an occasional ache. It's a constant, unwelcome visitor. Maybe it starts in the morning when getting out of bed feels a little harder than it used to. The knees resist, the hips creak. Even a simple walk to the mailbox can become a slow and measured task. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Arthritis and chronic inflammation are common as we age, quietly stealing comfort and independence one day at a time. But there may be a small, unexpected helper sitting right in your kitchen cabinet: baking soda. A groundbreaking study in 2018 revealed something remarkable. When taken in small amounts under medical guidance, baking soda may help the body shift toward a less inflammatory state. In other words, it might gently encourage your immune system to calm down, helping to reduce swelling and ease joint discomfort. Now, let's be clear, this isn't a cure, and it's definitely not a substitute for medications or professional care. But on days when the stiffness is strong and the body feels heavy, even a little relief matters. Some have found that a simple rinse or drink, approved by a doctor, makes a small difference. And when you're living with daily pain, even the smallest difference can feel like getting a piece of your life back. 6. Helping with urinary comfort. As the years go by, certain discomforts seem to visit more often than they used to. For many older adults, especially women, urinary tract infections, UTIs, become a recurring nuisance. That familiar burning feeling, the constant need to run to the bathroom, and the lingering discomfort afterward can take a toll, both physically and emotionally. When you're dealing with UTIs, you just want relief. And while antibiotics are often the main line of defense, there are gentle home strategies that some find helpful in easing the symptoms. Among them is, once again, baking soda. Some studies have suggested that baking soda might make urine less acidic. Why does that matter? Because bacteria tend to thrive in more acidic environments. By slightly adjusting the balance, baking soda might make things just a bit less comfortable for the bacteria and a bit more comfortable for you. It's not a replacement for medication, and it's definitely something to discuss with your doctor first, especially if you have kidney issues or other health concerns. But for those searching for a little extra support, it could be part of a broader plan to stay comfortable and in control. 7. Skin and fungus care, comfort for feet and folds. Simple relief for itching, redness, and irritation. With age, skin naturally becomes thinner, more fragile, and more reactive to moisture and friction. Areas where the skin folds, under the arms, beneath the breasts, around the groin, or between the toes, are especially vulnerable. Heat and sweat can easily cause irritation, and in many cases, fungal infections may begin to develop. The signs are familiar: itchy skin, red patches, sometimes a persistent discomfort that doesn't seem to go away. These minor issues, when left untreated, can grow into chronic conditions that affect daily comfort and peace of mind. Baking soda offers a gentle and proven way to care for these sensitive areas. Its natural antifungal and soothing properties help reduce itching, calm redness, and support the skin's natural balance. A baking soda soak for the feet. Warm water mixed with a few tablespoons of baking soda can help reduce symptoms and leave the skin feeling refreshed. For skin folds, a mild paste made of baking soda and water can be applied directly, left on briefly, and rinsed away gently. This solution is simple, it's accessible, and for many, it brings the relief needed to feel at ease in their own skin again. Usage tips. Foot soak. Mix 2 to 3 tablespoons of baking soda in warm water and soak for 15 to 20 minutes. Skin folds. Mix 1 teaspoon of baking soda with a bit of water into a paste. Apply gently, wait for a few minutes, then rinse. In an age where comfort becomes a daily priority, small steps like these can restore a sense of calm and dignity. Right at home, using something as familiar as baking soda. Important precautions. Baking soda isn't for everyone. I still remember that morning like it was yesterday. I was sitting at my kitchen table, flipping through one of those health newsletters my daughter sends me from time to time. There was an article about how a simple teaspoon of baking soda in water could help with indigestion, inflammation, even aging. Natural miracle, it said. And like many things at my age, I figured, what do I have to lose? So I went to the pantry, pulled out that familiar orange box, and mixed half a teaspoon into a glass of water. It tasted like salt and regret, but I drank it anyway. The next few days I felt okay. Not better, not worse. So I kept going, a little bit every day. Then one afternoon, I stood up from my chair and felt a strange tightness in my chest. My heart was racing, not like after a brisk walk, but like I'd run a mile without moving. My ankles looked puffier than usual, my breathing shallower. My daughter rushed me to the doctor. He asked what I'd been doing differently. I told him about the baking soda. His face turned serious. "You have high blood pressure, Mr. Carter," he said, "and mild kidney disease. That sodium you've been drinking? It's not harmless for you. It's tipping your fluid balance, straining your heart, and could have sent you to the hospital." I sat there, stunned. Something so simple, so common, nearly became dangerous. He told me the truth, not the kind I wanted to hear, but the kind I needed. Baking soda is powerful, but it's not for everyone. Not for those with high blood pressure, not with heart conditions, not with kidney issues, not without a doctor's guidance. Since then, I've shared my story with everyone at the senior center. I tell them the same thing I'm telling you now. If you're over 60, please be careful. Talk to your doctor before adding anything new. Yes, even something from your kitchen shelf. What works for one body may harm another. Start small. Half a teaspoon in water once a day, if your doctor agrees. And don't use it daily for more than a few weeks unless they say it's safe. Getting older means being wiser with our choices, even the ones that seem simple. Because sometimes, the quietest things can have the loudest consequences. For those of us in our 60s, 70s, and beyond, health isn't just about adding years to life. It's about adding life to our years. And sometimes, the simplest tools are right there in our homes. So the next time you reach for that old box of baking soda, remember, it might just be the humble helper your body's been waiting for. Have you tried baking soda for any of these issues? Drop a comment and let us know what's worked for you. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to share it with a friend who might need it, too. Thank you for watching. And here's to simple things making a big difference.